Boy, it must be Thursday because Steve is just now putting his IFB in and turning on his little pack.
Now I can hear you.
It's a tradition around here. Hey, good morning, America.
Ooh, now I can really hear you.
Turn yourself down.
Okay, now we're fine.
Happy Thursday. It's the 5th day of April 2018. I am Dan Kuntz, and this is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley Live this morning from Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee. Big show for you today. We got a weather forecast coming up. It's Thursday. That means Pet of the Week is back. We'll see if we can find Piglet. Piglet. You'll find out with Megan's report here at the bottom of the hour.
Is it a dog or a cat?
It's a dog.
Okay.
It's a cute dog, too. You're going to love it. See if we can get find Piglet at home with Pet of the Week. That's with Megan McPherson coming up near the bottom of the hour. Everyone is entitled to Mike Minardi's opinion. We have the obscure holiday. We have birthdays. We have today in history. You got the news. And we have a lot of sports highlights right out of the box. If you went to bed before the game was over, the Wenatchee Wild and the Trail Smoke Eaters will be going to a Game 5 tomorrow night at the Town Toyota Center. They won 7 in a row in the playoffs. That's a remarkable run. You can't win them all. You just not. It's the playoffs. Right. Competition is higher. Everything is more intense. And Trail got the better of the Wild last night up in British Columbia. So there will be a Game 5 on Friday night at the Town Toyota Center. That place will be rocking.
Not in our house, right?
Yeah.
That's what they were saying last night.
Yeah, they defended it is the biggest home ice advantage in the British Columbia Hockey League is the Town Toyota Center, and I'm not making that up. The record bears that out, number one. And number two, the other teams will tell you that. The teams that come in from out of town.
I see a looming national story here. If
I like it.
Continue.
I like it. And also a great soccer match last night at Lee Boffill Field at the Apple Bowl. A bunch of people braved the elements and came out and watched Wenatchee take on the #1 ranked 4A boys team in the state, the same Pasco Bulldogs that knocked them out of the state tournament last year. I'm not going to tell you who won. You're just going to have to watch the highlights. Stick around for that. That's coming up in about 20 minutes after the hour. We also have the forecast. Quick heads up before we get into that. We're going to have off and on intermittent showers today. We're going to be cloudy and dry most of the day Friday, Steve, overnight tonight into Friday. Kind of a little calm before the storm. And then Friday night until about 11 o'clock on Saturday morning, it's going to come down. Over an inch of rain in the forecast, which for us is a lot of rain.
That could cause some problems.
It could. They're
especially
worried about
the small streams.
Yeah, and snow melt.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, definitely, because that freezing level's way up there.
They're talking about I-90 getting upwards of 5 or 6 inches of rain on Snoqualmie Pass between now and Sunday. That's a lot of rain.
Well, we also have a story today that we're going to be sharing about the concerns about that 8-mile lake up in the Alpine Lakes Wilderness. That reservoir up there, and state of emergency. So we'll tell you more about that coming up in a few minutes.
You got your haircut. Looks good.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, very impressed with that.
Thanks to Bud.
Yeah, you went down to Bud's Barbershop.
I did, as a matter of fact. That's my new favorite barbershop.
There you are. Look at you, Steve. You look all presentable and everything.
Yeah, Connie did me okay, didn't she?
So, speaking of presentable, and this is one of my favorite traditions of the Apple Blossom Festival. You've interviewed the top 10 candidates in the Royal Court over the years. And every time they make a media appearance or anything like that, they actually write personal, handwritten thank you notes. It's a classy touch. You don't get this very often.
Something I can, maybe they can teach my kids how to do that.
Yeah, it's a lost art. People aren't doing this anymore. But if you remember correctly, we had the Cashmere Valley Bank Royalty Selection Pageant. We aired it live on this very station. They crowned the Royal Court for the upcoming festival. And that was on a Saturday. I want to say the Wednesday following, the new Royal Court was live on my program. And then yesterday, we got our thank you notes. And they're handwritten. And if you indulge me for just a minute, I'm going to read these. This is from Princess Sophie Castillo. Dear Mr. Kuntz, thank you for the fun TV interview. That was my first live TV interview ever, and I'll always remember it. Thank you. Sincerely, Princess Sophie Castillo.
How nice.
This is from Princess Jessica Murray. Dear Mr. Kuntz, thank you so much for such a fun interview. I am so excited for this opportunity and had a blast chatting with you. Thanks again. Sincerely, Princess Jessica. That's cool. And Queen Greta Wiersma. Here's her note. The 15 minutes I spent at Wake Up Wenatchee Valley being interviewed by you were the longest 15 minutes of my life. If I were informed in advance that appearing on your show was scheduled, I would not have considered becoming a Royal Court candidate. Please address all future correspondence to my legal counsel. I'm making that up. No, this is what she wrote. Dear Mr. Kuntz, this is Queen Greta Wiersma. Thank you so much for our TV interview following pageant. I thoroughly enjoyed our time together, even though I was a little nervous. Also, thank you so much for the special piece of paper from selection night. It's very special to me, and I really appreciate the thoughtful gift. If you remember, I actually gave Queen Greta the sheet, the advanced sheet that we get to tell us who won all the awards that is a very tightly kept secret, and I gave her that as a little momentum, so which is pretty cool. Great Royal Court this year. Again.
Yeah, well, they teach them well.
They do. They teach them well.
And their etiquette and common courtesy.
Yep. And I'm looking forward to the festival. We'll be all over it again this year. We'll be broadcasting live the Kai's Fiber Youth Parade. We'll be broadcasting live the Classy Chassis Parade, and of course, the big one, the Stimmill Growers Grand Parade. We will be here doing that as well.
Fun.
Looking forward to that.
The fun time.
It is. You ready to look at the cloudy Wenatchee Valley?
Yeah, it's right behind me.
Yeah. There you go. That's what it's looking like
From
right
the
now.
cross cam.
That's a live shot. Yes, at about 6 minutes after the hour. And what you see right now is pretty much what we're going to get. It's kind of funny. They were calling for widespread off and on rain showers throughout the day yesterday. That never really materialized. No. And what happened was the Cascade Curtain kind of protected us. They got a lot of rain in the Puget Sound area and a lot of rain to the west coast of the Cascades. And by the time the storm clouds made it over here, they were kind of spent. They ran out of precipitation. That's not going to be the case this weekend. Details are coming up. That is the Wenatchee Valley. What do we have next, Kat? What are we looking at? Oh. And that is Bear Mountain looking up Lake Chelan. That's a guess, but it's a pretty accurate guess. Beautiful view up there. I might head up to the lake this weekend.
It'll be fun.
I'd like to go up to Lake Chelan during the off season when it's quiet and peaceful and the lake is all benign, and do the winery thing. And they have some incredible restaurants in downtown Chelan.
They do.
They really do. If you're into that, if you're an Epicurean, I highly recommend it. Camera number 3.
I thought you were Episcopalian.
Help me out, Kat. I'm lost. Oh, that's Tumwater. Oh, okay. Well, somewhere down there is Leavenworth. Good morning, Leavenworth. Still quite a bit of snow, it looks like, in the upper elevations. I'm understanding that they're scheduling in Leavenworth coming up this autumn a big festival with a parade and everything. So keep an eye out on that.
That's right.
I'm looking forward to that.
I think they're going to have to trade the alpenhorns in for foghorns this morning, though.
Camera 4. Looks like a Rondo Rock.
Rondo Rock.
One of those places when
Columbia River.
Yep, when you get behind Rocky Ridge Dam, it looks more like a lake than it does a river.
By the way, folks, just to let you know that across the river there, Highway 97A, you might watch out for some rocks in the roadway, because normally when it rains, we see a little loosening up of the debris on the slopes there, so be careful.
Especially Saturday. Again, that's the big rain. As we mentioned before, it's a significant rain event coming up Friday into Saturday. Let's go ahead and do your forecast from the National Weather Service. Widespread rain today. We are going to get wet. It's not going to come down in buckets, but we're going to get rain here and rain there. About 1/10 of an inch possible, maybe up to 1/4 of an inch in certain pockets of significant rainfall. That high of 52 is about 10 degrees below normal. That's chilly for this time of year. The overnight lows are about average, but of course with the cloud cover it holds the heat in. So rain today, then we cloud it. We stay clouds, but we'll be fairly dry tonight into Friday. Most of the day Friday, cloudy but dry, only about a 30% chance of precipitation. And then about midnight Friday night into Saturday, it's going to start coming down hard. Friday night, 11 p.m., about midnight through about noon on Saturday, that 12-hour period, heavy rain. Total accumulation close to an inch of rain possible. That is a lot.
And that'll be falling all the way up to almost 5,000 feet.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. So there you go, heavy rain. Friday night, or in the wee small hours Friday night into Saturday. You'll be sleeping, but the rain will be coming down, and you're going to get up Saturday morning. It's going to be coming down in buckets. If you have outdoor plans on Saturday, wait till the afternoon. It's still going to be a little bit of light rain on Saturday afternoon, but they say the rain will be tapering off by noonish or so on Saturday. And on Sunday, partly sunny skies. Yeah, the sun's going to come back on Sunday, but it's going to be breezy as that system tails out. Usually a little bit of wind event will come in behind it. So we're looking at some sun breaks on Sunday, and temperatures fairly normal. The big weather story on Sunday was going to be the wind. Heads up on that.
For me, it's going to be a weekend of golf.
Yeah, I'm playing golf Sunday morning on Masters Sunday.
Mine is going to be...
Oh, you're going to watch the Masters?
Watch the Masters on TV, yeah.
To the passes we go. I wish we didn't have to do the pass report. We're doing it just because we're nice people. There are no advisories, no restrictions. They don't normally do the pass reports this time of the year. They call it the seasonal weather reports, and they quit doing them. But it's still, I think, necessary to do. No advisories, no restrictions on any of the major mountain passes. There's I-90. It's looking good. It's just bare and wet. Stevens Pass is fine right now. You're not going to have any issues at all. Poor visibility, but that's about it. Roadway is bare and wet across the board. Blewett is fine. Bare and wet across the board. The reason that we brought up the pass report, I want to let you know about this. They're going to have quite a bit of rain as you might imagine, Friday night, Saturday into Saturday night. But Stevens Pass specifically is going to get a lot of snow. Stevens is going to get 4 to 8 inches of snow on Stevens. You go to I-90, 1,000 feet lower in elevation, they're looking at heavy, heavy rain on I-90 throughout the course of the weekend, especially Friday into Saturday. So what I-90 could get dicey with standing water and runoff and all that nasty cloppy cluck. So heads up on there.
It's going to slow down the process of clearing SR-20 too, North
Yes,
Cascades Pass.
Yeah. It is 11 minutes after the hour. Going to take a quick little break. When we come back, this gentleman to my left will have your Thursday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. This morning we are broadcasting live from Studio 15 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel. Your home for the 2018 Washington State Apple Blossom Festival is the NCW Life channel. Be sure to watch the Kais Fiber Youth Parade Saturday, April 28th, the Les Schwab Classy Chassis Parade on Friday, May 4th, and the Stemilk Growers Grand Parade Saturday, May 5th, right here. Brought to you by Boswell's Home Furnishings, inspiration and comfort for every room in your home, and Collins Fashions, real clothes for real women in downtown Wenatchee.
The Arbiter of Stoke is a series that highlights a variety of outdoor adventure sports that are available in the Pacific Northwest. I dedicate my time to enjoying this natural playground. The decision is yours. How will you keep your Stoke?
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
Good morning and welcome to a Thursday. Here's what's happening around north central Washington. In the news, our top story, the Grant County Sheriff's Office this morning issuing a news release detailing new information in what appears to be a widening investigation into the 2016 murder of Jill Sundberg near George. Detectives say the arrest of 2 women this week in connection with another murder near Royal City could be related. The 2 women, identified as 27-year-old Eustolio Campuzano and 29-year-old Paula Rodriguez Cuevas, are implicated with 2 other men in the December shooting death of 28-year-old Arturo Sosa. That occurred along State Route 26 near Royal City. Here the image is of that arrest being made there on Highway 26. Campuzano was the ex-girlfriend of Sosa and had expressed to Cuevas her anger that Sosa had allegedly treated her badly and hit her while they were together as a couple. Cuevas later introduced Campuzano to 3 males at what was possibly the Shady Tree RV park near George, and a plan at that time was hatched to assault Sosa as retaliation for his treatment of Cuevas. Now, follow with me here because it gets a little convoluted. 2 of the males are allegedly Fernando Marcos Gutierrez and Julio Albaron Verona, who are currently both in jail awaiting trial in connection to the December 22nd killing of Jill Sundberg near George in 2016. Detectives say Gutierrez and Verona are believed to have killed Sosa and wounded another man during a struggle inside a car on Highway 26. Authorities say it's not known if the Sosa murder played any role in the Sundberg homicide, but that investigation continues. The body of 31-year-old Sundberg of Quincy was found along the side of a road in December of 2016. In fact, for the full details of this developing story, go to ncwlife.com. Work continues at 8 Mile Lake in the Alpine Lakes Wilderness as crews with the Icicle-Shaston Irrigation District make emergency repairs to that threatened dam. Now, the reservoir is a critical source of water for growers in the upper Wenatchee Valley. Last summer's Jack Creek wildfire caused extensive damage to the lake's surrounding landscape, and there are increased concerns about possible flooding.
If there's a failure at the 8 Mile Dam, it would be roughly an hour before the water from the dam in 8 Mile reached the Wenatchee River. So that's it's about a half hour before we'd hit Icicle Creek, and then about a half hour from Icicle Creek to the Wenatchee. That's moving pretty quick.
Now, Chelan County Commissioner Keith Gaynor tells NCW Life News that the repair work is slowed due to restrictions in the designated wilderness area where that lake is located.
I do know that the irrigation district did go up. They cut trees down because they're concerned about debris coming and catching and actually uprooting the trees that were in the earthen portion of the dam. So they've already done some preemptive measures. But really the issue right now is the need and the desire for the irrigation district to get a piece of equipment up there that actually allows them to do the repairs that need to be done. And that seems to be the source of contention now between the irrigation district and the Forest Service as to whether or not the original agreement did allow for them to do that. It certainly allows for flying in using mechanized means within the wilderness, which is certainly contrary to what you might expect in the wilderness. But this is not without precedent where other wilderness areas do have in-holdings that allow for a lot of mechanized equipment. There are some wildernesses that have actually mining claims. There's one in California where there's a paved road right through the wilderness. So it's not the pure wilderness. I mean, there are, if you've had an existing operation prior to it becoming a designated wilderness, those activities have typically been allowed to continue. So,
from a public safety standpoint, Chelan County Emergency Management, have they advised, let's say, some of the downstream property owners of what might occur if that dam should fail?
what we did last week is, based on the recommendation of emergency management, we did declare an emergency in Chelan County. Now, the unfortunate thing is that it's an emergency that you really don't know. You don't have much certainty as opposed to a fire where you have the 1, 2, 3. You can see on a daily basis the change of the intensity or the level of danger that's maybe coming your way. This may or may not happen, but we have to make people aware that there is that potential, and then they have to make decisions themselves.
Of course, the concerns are heightened now with the expected rainfall in the high country this weekend, so those concerns continue at the 8 Mile Lake. Well, for the NCW Live Pardon Our Smoke File, spring prescribed burning has started on the Okanagan and Wenatchee National Forest. Spokeswoman Robin DeMario says residents can expect to see some drift smoke from those controlled fires.
We've already started some of those burns in the Eniat Ranger District and on our Natchez Ranger District, but we anticipate that we're going to put this good fire on about 10,000 acres this spring. Fewer acres, we may end up doing fewer acres. It all depends on favorable conditions, and those conditions include temperature and wind, fuel moisture, and of course ventilation of smoke. And so when we have all of those good things aligned, then we can do those prescribed burns. And we plan to do them throughout the spring, like I said, when conditions are good. And for folks in Wenatchee Valley, they'll see smoke from some of those prescribed burns. And in the Eniat area, we plan to burn about 1,500 acres. And then for folks maybe in the Leavenworth, Lake Wenatchee areas, there's hopes to be able to complete about 2,000 acres of planned burns.
Now, DeMario also reminds rural property owners to make sure their homes are fire safe as they begin spring cleaning.
Anything that you can do to make your home more safe in this fire-adapted ecosystem in which we live is just a very positive thing. So right now, as folks get out in their yards and start doing some of that cleanup from the winter, keep that fire-wise message in mind. Keep that green belt around your house.
And DeMario said the prescribed burning will be dictated by weather conditions, certainly, and you can get more info on the forest website. Okanagan County's labor market is in a world of hurt, apparently. The latest numbers from the Washington State Employment Security Department bear that out. Central Washington's regional economist Don Messick said the county's non-farm labor market did not fare well this past year. Okanagan County's unemployment rate increased 0.3 of a percentage point between 2016 and 2017 from 6.6 to 6.9%. Between the Februarys of 2017 and this year, the rate stagnated at 9.8%. Why? Well, Messick said the civilian labor force shrank 5% between February of last year and this year, while the number of unemployed contracted at a roughly comparable 4.6% pace, causing the local unemployment rate to stabilize at 9.8%. During that time frame, he adds, the local economy is off to a weak start in the first 2 months of 2018. Elsewhere, the job interviews are over, and now the Chelan County Port Commissioners will have to decide which of the final 4 candidates to hire as the district's new deputy director. I covered that interview session earlier in the week, and here's that report. James Kuntz of Walla Walla was the first candidate to be interviewed. Kuntz is a Wenatchee native, actually the brother of Wenatchee Mayor Frank Kuntz. Previously served as the executive director of the Walla Walla Port District. He currently serves as the executive director of the Washington Association of Sewer and Water Districts. Also, Todd Coleman from Star, Idaho, grew up in Quincy. He served in various management positions at the Port of Vancouver, Washington, beginning as facilities manager, then deputy director, and ultimately a CEO until the year 2016. He also consulted on development and construction projects. The third candidate, Captain Jeff McIrvin, grew up in Ellensburg. He's been an active duty officer in the U.S. Navy since 1990, making multiple overseas deployments. He currently serves as regional director of the Naval Reserve's Northwest Command, encompassing 11 Northwest states. Candidate number 4, Allison Williams. Allison grew up in Walla Walla. She's worked as the City of Wenatchee's Executive Services Director since 2005, where she serves as the right hand of the mayor, running day-to-day operations at City Hall. She began as a city planner, and she previously worked as the executive director of the Wenatchee Downtown Association. Now, during the 4-hour interview session, commissioners questioned the candidates on a range of topics, from economic development, tourism, and Pangbourne Airport. A final decision is pending. The deputy director will report directly to Executive Director Pat Jones and work with elected commissioners, and ultimately be a candidate for appointment as executive director when Jones steps down at the end of this year. The 4 finalists emerged from a field of 26 applicants. And again, we'll have the final decision soon by the Chelan County Port Commission on that final selection. Much like the ABC TV show Shark Tank, 6 companies from across Washington State will be competing for $100,000 at the 2018 Flywheel Investment Conference. That's coming up on the 19th here in Wenatchee. 6 finalists were selected this week from a variety of industries who are using technology to problem solve in areas like healthcare, sports, and travel, from Rock Island and Kashmir to Port Townsend and the Seattle metro area. In fact, right now, here's Adam Greenberg, CEO and founder of ENU, I guess is how it's pronounced. He presented his startup at last year's Flywheel Conference and has been able to raise over $6 million since that event.
I'm Adam Greenberg, and I'm founder and CEO of ENU. We affectionately call our product Luna. And Luna, she's this system that allows you to monitor and take care of all of your crops in a greenhouse from anywhere. The Flywheel Conference itself was fantastic to get in touch with not only the people in the agriculture industry, but also the people who want to invest in the agriculture industry. Since the Flywheel Conference, we've gone from about 10 people to about 30 people. We've spent a ton of time honing and focusing our product and making sure our customers are happy and increasing value proposition. Now it's way bigger than me. It's not about me anymore. It's about the cause, it's about the people, and it's about the team being excited about something greater than any one of us. And so all of that combines together to create a magical scenario that is incredibly motivating. And that's the only reason I work 7 days a week, is because I'm passionate about helping people and I'm passionate about helping this industry. So from that perspective, that's one of the pursuits that we have to acknowledge when you're building something that starts off so small and just starts off as just an idea, that turns into something that becomes this engine, this flywheel that allows you to speed up, and as it gets faster and faster and faster and faster, the momentum takes on a life of its own.
And again, the Flywheel Conference is directed by GWADA. It's an opportunity for startup companies to find potential investors here in North Central Washington to jumpstart their companies. But it's a great program.
Yeah.
Should be kind of a fun event to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I should pitch my idea.
Which is?
It's been kicking around in my head for a little while. I have a couple of just very rudimentary drawings. The shower toaster.
The shower toaster.
What do you think? A 4-slice toaster for you can make your toast right in your shower while you're getting ready, save you some time.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I'm looking into it.
I like
So,
that.
investors, get a hold of me, please. The news normally is with Grant Olson. Grant is taking the rest of the week off. Speedy recovery, Grant. We hope to see you Monday. So Eric Granstrom, our beloved GM and sports director, is going to be wearing 2 hats today. Eric will be anchoring the news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock available on demand on our website at ncwlife.com late in the afternoon, early in the evening, if that's the way you prefer to consume your news. And the guy who puts it all together, the neatly haircutted Steve Hare. And you can be a part of our news team, right, Steve?
Absolutely. Just give us a call right now. If you see breaking
Well, not
news
right now,
happening.
because Steve's right here.
Well, Eric's out there.
Oh, that's true. Eric's there.
Phone.
Okay.
Yeah. Phone number to call, the hotline, 888-6295. Got the number right this time. And, of course, you can communicate with us on our social media, Facebook, Twitter, standard methods there. ncwlife.com. That's our website. Just click the little tab at the top of the page. Contact us if you'd like to share a news idea with us. Or, as always, email is preferred. Address news@ncwlife.com.
The nice thing about the news email is that everybody in the staff gets it. So it doesn't slide between the cracks.
That's right,
Not very few things do slide between the cracks around here. But yeah, news@ncwlife.com is a great way to get a hold of us. 26 minutes after the hour. We got to get caught up. We'll take a quick 1 minute break when we come back. Sports, the obscure holiday, today in history, birthdays. Everyone is entitled to Mike Minotti's opinion. Don't forget about that. We also have our pet of the week with Naked McPherson. I didn't mention this. My guest, Carolyn Larkins, the girls on the run of the Columbia Valley, will be my guest in the second half of the program. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 1 minute. It's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
We know crunch.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat. Poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
Overcast skies, 42 degrees in downtown Wenatchee. Cloudy, intermittent rain all day today. Fairly dry and cloudy on Friday, and then a heavy rain overnight Friday into about noon on Saturday. Let's do sports. There will be a Game 5 of the BCHL Interior Finals. Trail defeating the Wenatchee Wild 5-2 last night up in Canada. Trail scored early and often. They jumped out to a 3-0 first period lead after the first period, and then Wenatchee cut the lead to 1 in the second. Trail answered, and they will not be swept. We're going to have a Game 5. Highlights from last night, courtesy of Arch Eckerd with the call and the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network.
Odd man rushers McLean from the left side. He's in, shot, stick save made, twisted back out in front, shot and a score. Ryan Murphy getting one in right off the bat and driven back in by Trevor Zins. Here come the Smoke Eaters in on the far side, threaded through, shot at the side of the net, score. Wheels around, tries to thread a shot through. Goes back behind the net, stuffed in front, and Gantus wraps it home. 3-0 Trail. Shoveled over. It's down low and twisting it out in front. Shot! Score! Zach Golambus punched it home, top corner. Beautiful finish as it got swung over to Golambus in that left circle. Touch pass back to Jones again. Dangles through, that gets broken up, cleared out, and punched ahead, and here comes Von Ungern Sternberg. He's in alone, short-handed, he shoots, he scores! August Von Ungern Sternberg poke-checked it away, and he was off to the races, got in behind the Smokies' defense. A short-handed tally rocketed upstairs by August Von Ungern Sternberg, but it stays in the zone. Over to Seth Barton on the far side. He's in, he shoots, he scores. 15-13, time of the goal. Gantus over in the corner, loses it to Morton. Sent out in front, shot, score. Jones threw it out in front for Glaseman, and he was left alone. He fires it home. And the Smoke Eaters lead by 3 once again. So you can keep the brooms in the closet. And for the Wenatchee Wild, you got to fire up the Zamboni because we're coming home for hockey on Friday night.
Yes, they are coming home for hockey tomorrow night, 7:05 at the Town Toyota Center. Tickets are just $10 any place in the bowl. Group rates are just $8 a ticket. Students get in for just $7 a ticket. Well, it was a rematch of last year's state soccer playoffs at the Apple Bowl last night. The Wenatchee Panthers hosting the #1 ranked team in the state, the Pasco Bulldogs, and the game lived up to its expectations. The two sides would play for 80 minutes, ended up tied. 2 overtimes, golden goal overtimes, ended up tied. It was time to go to the shootout. It was a great soccer match last night. Our cameras were there. So was Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen.
Quick run, into the box we go. The shot, and it goes in for Pasco. The first tally of the game, and it belongs to the Bulldogs. 1-0, and it's Ponce in the 32nd minute opening the scoring. There's the shot. No question about it. Eric Saldivar ties it up for the Wenatchee Panthers. 34 minutes, 30 seconds. Trying again. Along the stripe goes Camarillo. Right-footed shot. Go, 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 go! Jose Camarillo, left-footed rocket. Corner of the box. Right foot. Oh, my goodness gracious. Can you believe it? We're tied at 2. What an unlucky bounce. And we're tied at 2. 76 minutes, 28 seconds. First kick belongs to Edwin Aquino for Pasco. Aquino, the shot, Aquino, goal. Left foot, goal. Luis Navarrete with the tying tally. Right foot, Cortez, the shot. Good dive by Calderilla, but still, it's the second penalty kick for Pasco and the second goal for Pasco. Left foot, Saldivar, the shot, goal. Completely froze the Pasco goalkeeper that time. Martinez, left foot, Martinez, rocket. Pass Calderilla, Viramontes, right foot, Viramontes, Viramontes. Beautifully taken, good guess by Moreno, but still. Now I'll say it. Nobody has missed yet. Calderilla, the shot, and completely fooled there.
Chipped him.
Camarillo. Camarillo, the shot. Camarillo! That took some cold blood right there. Ponce, the shot. Ponce! And it's 5-4 Pasco. And then he turns around. The shot! Whoa, my goodness. Beautifully taken, but that was darn close. Magaña, quite a bit of distance. Magaña, right foot, Magaña, Calderilla, Magaña, and the stop. What a stop by Alexis Calderilla. So with the miss, number 11, Jorge Magaña, and now all the responsibility on the feet of number 15, Freddy Reinaga, who had a marvelous game in my opinion, as a starter. Reinaga, right foot, Reinaga, go, 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 go! And Wenatchee has done it. They have defeated in penalty kicks the #1 team in the state, the Pasco Bulldogs.
Exciting match. There you have it. The Les Schwab Prep scoreboard up on your screen. Wenatchee knocking off Pasco 3-2 in a shootout victory. The Panthers 7-2-1 on the year. Here's what we have on tap on the broadcast schedule. Tonight, of course, is Thursday. That means hockey night. And you'll see Game 1 of the Wenatchee Wild's series with Trail starts at 7 o'clock. We'll have baseball tomorrow. Eastmont hosts Moses Lake. Dan White Field will take to the air at about 5:30 on Saturday. Tune in for Games 2 and 3 of the Wenatchee Trail series at 2 and 7. Felix Hernandez had a really hard time finding the strike zone yesterday, and when he did, San Francisco teed off. Hernandez allowing 8 runs, 6 hits, 3 home runs, walked 5. The M's and Giants split their 2 games. Daniel Vogelbach drove in Seattle's lone run. The Mariners now traveled to Minneapolis to take on the Twins. 1:10 first pitch. James Paxton scheduled to take the mound. They had a foot of snow in Minneapolis overnight, Tuesday into Wednesday. We'll see if they play the game at all. They say the field will be clean, but it's supposed to be like 9 or 10 degrees at first pitch. That's cold. 35 minutes after the hour and Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. The obscure holiday of the day today, it is National Dandelion Day. National Dandelion Day. And we put aside a special day for that. Most people think dandelions are just weeds in their garden. Gardeners know better. Real gardeners know better. For one thing, you can eat dandelions. In many countries, dandelions are a delicacy. The leaves are edible. They put them in soups and salads. Dandelion leaves are rich in vitamins A, B, C, and D. You can make wine out of dandelions. Celebrate Dandelion Day by eating your lawn. My dandelions haven't popped up yet, but they're coming. Trust me on that. Let's do Today in History on this April 5th. A lot of people forget that the Mayflower made a round trip. It was on this date 397 years ago, April 5th, 1621, that the Mayflower set sail from Plymouth, England, from Plymouth, Massachusetts, back to England. It was a lot easier trip heading back. For one thing, nobody was on board. There were like 5 people, as opposed to everybody who was on the trip over. In fact, the ship was so light that they had to take a bunch of rocks and stones from Plymouth Harbor to put it in the ship just to have ballast. And it took them about half the time because of the westerly winds. So going from England to Massachusetts was a hard, slow slog. Going from Massachusetts to England was a piece of cake. The ship was light and they had the winds. It took them about half the time. So the Mayflower made his trip back to England. It began anyway on this day 397 years ago. And 60 years ago, here's the deal with Ripple Rock. It was a problem. Ripple Rock was a mountain, an underwater mountain whose summit was only 9 feet below the water surface. This is in Seymour Narrows in Canada, British Columbia. And when you have the top of an underwater mountain that's only 9 feet below the surface, what's going to happen? Ships are going to hit it, and ships are going to sink. And for about 100 years, ships kept hitting Ripple Rock and sinking, so they came to the conclusion, why don't we just blow the darn thing up? And on this date, 60 years ago, they simply exploded Ripple Rock. It is the largest non-nuclear controlled explosion of all time. They blew about 35 feet off the top of Ripple Rock, and from that point forward, the ships could go through Seymour Narrows without having to worry about sinking. That's a big thing on a boat. And at 38 minutes after the hour, we have birthdays. Hollywood celebrities, all of them. All of them. Multiple Academy Award winners. Spencer Tracy, maybe the biggest Hollywood star of them all. Born in the state of 1900. Spencer Tracy, one of the major stars of Hollywood's golden age, nominated for 9 Academy Awards for Best Actor. That's tied for all time with Sir Laurence Olivier, and he won 2 of them. Spencer Tracy, the legend, born in the state of 1900. Speaking of legends, Bette Davis, 10 Academy Award nominations for Best Actress, which was the most at all time for quite some time. 2 Academy Awards, and she was the first female president of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, the legendary Bette Davis, born in the state in 1908. And one of my favorites, Gregory Peck, born in the state in 1916, always will be Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird. Well, he would have been 102, Gregory Peck, today. And we have an anniversary, Kat, is that correct? Oh, cool! There they are, Eric's folks. Their 56th anniversary is today. I've never had a chance to meet Eric's mom. It's on my bucket list. Eric's dad, I've had meet them a number of times. Happy 56th anniversary to the Granstroms. Thank you very much, Eric. That's cool. Happy anniversary, 56 years. The key to any marriage, and I've learned this from everybody whose marriage lasted for 56 years, mutual love and respect. You got that, and everything else is a piece of cake. Happy anniversary to the Granstroms. That's a neat surprise. 39 minutes after the hour, the Pet of the Week with Megan McPherson right now.
Hi, I'm Megan McPherson with the NCW Life Channel, and I am here with Don Davies, the Executive Director of the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and we are also here with Piglet. Don, can you tell us about Piglet?
Well, Piglet is a 7-year-old male, and he's been at the shelter for a few weeks now. He's a little bit on the chubby side, so he could use a nice, friendly home where he could go for a walk or maybe throw a ball around or just maybe off the feed bag a little bit and a little more exercise. But he's really a sweetheart.
And what are the steps that someone needs to take if they want to adopt Piglet?
All they have to do is come down to our shelter, which is 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue, and where you just fill out a little application. We try not to make it too difficult for people. We want all of our pets to go to good homes, but we don't want to make it difficult for people either. His adoption fee is only $150, and he's already been neutered, microchipped, vaccinated, and he is ready to go home.
Do you have anything to say?
Oh, he said you could come get me today. We're open from 11 to 6.
The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
My name is Valerie Gray. I'm the Nutrition Service Manager at Wenatchee High School. If the bond passes, it would mean that we would be capable of serving many more students in a more timely manner. It would eliminate a lot of equipment problems that we have now that slow us down and present challenges to us every day. Our equipment is old. We've learned to work with it as best we can, but not having to fight the equipment every day would be a huge bonus.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I do a lot of marriage and relationship therapy, and lots of couples come to counseling because they have problems with communication. Well, what I find is what they call communication is really just trying to convince their partner, I'm right. Now, that's human nature, okay? I want to be right, and I want to have other people admit that I'm right, but I tell you, if being right means proving someone else to be wrong or just putting down someone that you say you love and care for, then being right can be a cold, lonely place to be. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
And welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. If you are a 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade girl in the Chelan and Douglas County areas, we want you to run. We want you to have a healthy lifestyle. We want you to feel good about yourselves. I can't do it alone. I can't do it at all, but the lady to my immediate left can do something about it. Carolyn Larkins is my guest today. She is the program assistant for Girls on the Run. Did I get that all in there correctly?
Yes, you did.
Good. We're off to a great start. We got a lot to talk about. First, a little bit about Carolyn Larkins. You're new to the Valley. Tell folks a little bit about yourself.
Yes, so I came to Wenatchee in August. I'm a Jesuit volunteer AmeriCorps member, serving at Columbia Valley Community Health for the year. So I've been here for about 8 months now, and I really like it.
So where did you come from?
I'm originally from New Hampshire.
Oh, beautiful area.
Yeah, it is.
Did you bring any syrup with you by chance?
No,
okay.
But I should have.
New Hampshire syrup is better than Vermont syrup. I'm on record as that. What got you into this? I mean, just something that you had the spiritual, I'm going to do this kind of thing?
Yeah, so
somebody was guiding you? How did this happen?
It's a program after college, and I went to a Jesuit university, and the Jesuit Volunteer Corps does a lot of recruiting out of Jesuit schools, so that's kind of how I found it.
Were you assigned to Wenatchee, or did you get a pick?
So they match you with a placement based on your interests. Okay. So you have some choice in where you're going to be, but a lot of it's based on what your interests are and what you want to be doing during your time. And
so you got assigned little old Wenatchee town, USA. You probably knew nothing of us until you found out where you're going, right?
No, I didn't. I remember Google mapping it and looking at where it was, yeah.
So you've been here since August. Your impressions of our little hamlet?
I really love it. It's beautiful. I love the access to the outdoors here, and everyone here has been really wonderful. So,
good.
And welcoming.
Good. And right out of the box, they gave you a gig, the Girls on the Run program. Deal. Just in a brief thumbnail sketch, what exactly is Girls on the Run?
Yeah, so it's an after-school program. It's nationwide, so there's a nationwide organization that's kind of in charge of the whole organization, and there's about 225 councils across the country. So our local chapter here in the Columbia Valley is in Chelan, Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, Waterville and Palisades. And it's an after-school program for 3rd through 5th grade girls. So we have volunteer coaches that go into the schools. Some of them are teachers, some of them are just community members. We have a few high schoolers that also coach. And we go through a curriculum that the entire country goes through. So each lesson is kind of laid out for you. And we do some team building. We talk about different issues like confidence and not gossiping and not bullying. And it's all kind of tied in with some running.
I was going to ask, where does the running come into all of this?
Well, everyone always thinks it's all about running.
Yeah.
So we like to emphasize that it's not like a track program. The running is kind of incorporated in a creative way. So we run laps at the end of each practice, and they get little counters to keep track of their progress throughout the season.
And so when is this, is it underway now, or is it about ready to get going?
So it is underway now. We started in early March in all of the schools. So we go through May, which is when our big 5K happens.
And so are you going from school to school and from location to location and say, hi, I'm Carolyn and I'm part of this organization and you should join us?
Yeah, so we kind of put out info to all the schools prior to the season, and now that it's been going for about 10 years in the Valley, so there is some schools that have established it, that they do it every year, but we reach out to new schools, and then we have to recruit all of our coaches. We have about 50 women who are volunteering in all the schools. There's 12 teams this year.
Okay. Yeah. So when you're a 5th grade girl and you've gone through the program and you go to 6th grade and you're no longer with the program, are they recruiting the younger girls to say, this was really cool, I really liked it, you should do it?
Yeah, usually when we go to schools, one of our strategies is to have a girl that did it before talk about why they liked doing it. Because it is kind of hard to explain sometimes to girls what exactly it is and why they should do it and why it's fun. So it's nice when a peer can explain.
What is the genesis of where did this all come from? I mean, did it say, okay, kids are no longer in shape, they don't play video, they play video games and they're not as active as they used to be generations before, and then it kind of morphed into, we'll talk about self-esteem and health style and peer pressure and stuff. How did this whole thing come to be?
Yeah, so a woman named Molly Barker from North Carolina actually created the program, and I believe the story goes that she just got a group of girls together and kind of did an informal running program, and they started talking about some of these issues, and then she decided to kind of tailor it into a more structured curriculum that they'd spread across. And I think the idea is, yes, we are facing some bigger issues with inactivity and we want to try to make it fun to be active, not like it's something that's a burden to do, that it's really fun that you can do with your friends. And definitely, I think technology creates some interesting dynamics, especially with young girls in the elementary schools.
How did you find your coaches? You called them coaches,
yes,
as opposed to teachers or camp counselors or whatever you want to call them. How did you find your coaches?
All different kinds of ways, yeah. So we reach out within CVCH. There's a few women who are in our outreach department who are helping out as coaches. We reach out to the school, so we ask all the teachers in each school if they might want to coach. It works really well when teachers are coaches just because they know the school well, and sometimes they know the kids as well. And then I've been at tables at various events at PIBUS or out in the community with my Girls on the Run t-shirt. And
people immediately say, what's that, right?
Yeah.
And then you plant that seed. Do the teachers, are they pretty actively recruiting? I mean, do they say, I have a girl in my class who I think would really benefit from the Girls on the Run program, and they kind of steer them in that direction?
Yeah, it depends on the school. So some teachers do exactly that. I know some of my coaches will pick, or not pick, because any girl can do it, but they definitely encourage some girls that I think would really benefit from the program to do it.
Now, this culminates in a big run thing, right? Coming up in May?
Yes.
Okay, so what we're going to do, again, we're talking to Carolyn Larkins from the Girls on the Run program assistant. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk about, I take it it's a sizable fundraiser. It's a big one, right?
Yes.
We'll talk about that specifically when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live from Studio 4 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
Hi, I'm Cordell Schroeder. owner of East Wenatchee Mobile Storage.
If you're thinking about making a move anytime soon, check out the East Wenatchee Mini Storage brand new mobile storage service. They drop it off at your location, you pack it, and they pick it up and store it in their protected warehouse at East Wenatchee for as long as you need. When you're ready, they'll drop it off at your new home or office. East Wenatchee Mini Storage is excited to offer this brand new service to our region.
Call 509-884-8643 or find us on the web at ewministorage.com.
Join me for Life with Lisa Bradshaw on NCW Life. It's not about my life, it's about yours.
The all-new Yamaha Wolverine X4 offers 4 times the proven off-road capability, 4 times the comfort, and 4 times the confidence to deliver 4 times the excitement on your next outdoor adventure.
Lake Wenatchee YMCA camp programs focus on our 4 core values of caring, honesty, respect, and responsibility. Make this summer's memories last a lifetime. Pick your theme week today with a wide variety of safe and engaging activities. Lake Wenatchee YMCA Camp is the ultimate summer fun in the sun camp for children, teens, and families. Reserve your child's week today.
And we are back on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan Kuntz alongside Carolyn Larkins. We're talking about the Girls on the Run of Columbia Valley. She is the program assistant. Before we get into the big run coming up on May 19th, my guess is you're always looking for coaches, right? Do coaches, team leaders, whatever the case would be, do they have to, what kind of skill set do you need to volunteer to help out your organization, besides being, I suppose, a girl?
Yeah, so it is only female coaches. Basically, you just have to be excited about the program and about helping girls. So we have people from all different experiences join us. So there really isn't a specific skill set. You don't even have to be a runner to do it because you can walk with the girls. A lot of our girls walk. So it's pretty open to anyone.
What's the coach to team ratio? I mean, for each coach, you have X amount of kids on the team?
So for up to 15 girls, we have 2 coaches. And then if the team goes up to 20 girls, then we have 3.
So my guess is you cannot have enough coaches.
No, we can always have more coaches.
That's good.
And anyone who's interested can always express interest to me now, and we can have them on a list for being interested for next year.
Okay. Before we get into the actual run on May 19th, give us an idea when you're not running, because you say you end each class with a little running thing. Before that, you're talking about self-esteem. You're talking about, you know, when the girls all get together with the coaches. What does the program consist of? Just sitting around and talking, or is it lessons? Is it tests? What is it?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and it's hard to articulate well, but I can give an example of a specific lesson. So I think last week, actually, my team did this one. So we were talking about beauty and beauty standards, and usually it's incorporated into a game. So we had little cards laid out all across the room, and each girl stood by a card, and we would call out something like, has anyone seen a beautiful sunset? And if your answer is yes, you had to switch spots with another girl, and if your answer is no, you stood still, and then we asked them what was beautiful about the sunset. And you go through a whole set like that, and then kind of explain how you can see beauty in many different ways and in many different things.
And the fact that this program has been going on in this valley for 10 years, you said, means it's working, right? I mean, nobody pulled the plug and say, well, it's not working here.
Yeah.
So that's got to make you feel pretty good.
Yeah, it does. And we have teachers even, they think it really helps with girls' performance in school. And I don't know why, but girls' reading levels have skyrocketed sometimes, or just their confidence in speaking out in class. So that's been really cool to hear about.
Talk about May 19th at the Pybus Public Market, the Superhero 5K.
Yeah, so really fun event at the end of our program. It's on May 19th, as you said, at Pybus at 10 a.m. And it is a superhero themed 5K where all the girls will dress up as superheroes. So we provide capes and we make toilet paper rolls into little wristbands. Yeah, so
there's some photos from
there's
last
the
year's.
girls preparing their little superhero masks for them to wear during their 5K. So it's fun because they get to do all these activities before the race. And each girl has a running buddy that runs with them. So
I see the lovely Ms. Rutherford there as
Yes.
a running buddy. Yep.
So they have someone to be with them. So it's a 5K. It's fairly long for
Yeah.
a 3rd through 5th grader. So it's nice to have someone with them. And what's the best is when their family does it with them, their mom or dad or brother or sister. And then we also welcome all community members to join the 5K, male or female. It's really fun to see the girls completing this 5K, and they get very excited about it.
I bet. And the whole thing is a fundraiser to keep this thing going, right?
Yes, so a lot of our girls, there's a cost associated with participating in the program so that we can keep offering it, and we use all of our fundraising from the event to go towards scholarships for girls who can't pay the full program fee. So it's really important so that all girls can participate.
My guess is since the program is 10 years old, you've had girls who went through it and turned around and became a volunteer coach because they enjoyed it so much?
You know, I haven't been here long enough to know whether that's happened,
I'm sure
but
it
it's
has.
possible it has, yeah.
I'm sure it has. So for the parents out there who have no idea that this Girls on the Run program even existed, much less the big event on May 19th, I know you're already into your year. It started in March, but how do they say, I think my 4-year-old daughter would really benefit from this? What do they, I'm in. What do I do? Help me out, Carolyn.
Yeah, so they can go onto our website, which is gotrcolumbiavalley.org, and there's a lot more information on there, as well as my contact information. And the best way to reach out is to send me an email, and you can ask any questions that you have, and we also can put you on a list of interests for future years.
Okay, so is it too late now to get in on this year because it started in March?
Yes,
Okay,
no
but
more
it's-
girls can sign up,
Right.
but next year.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, but again, anybody can participate, boys or girls, on the run on May 19th, right? So.
Yes.
The one thing that boys are simply not allowed in the club, and you know what? I have no problems with that at all. None at all. Good luck. I hope it works out well.
Thank you.
And do you think you're going to be sticking around in Wenatchee once your assignment here is done, or is off to someplace else?
Off to someplace else, but maybe I'd come back in the
So
future.
I'm sure you're going to make friends here that will last a lifetime.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I appreciate it, and good luck on the 19th.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Thursday night, hockey night on the NCW Life Channel. It all begins at 7 o'clock with a call of the Wild and Clarkie's Corner. Then it's non-stop hockey action with a voice of the Wild, Arch Ecker. Join us as the Wild battle the rest of the BCHL. Thursday night is hockey night on the NCW Life Channel.
It's a free walk-in job search assistance center. It is designed to help job seekers with the tools that they need to find a job. We have partnered with libraries in 5 other cities, providing the same types of services that we offer here, just there.
Just walk in, we have laptops, and we can help you with resume, cover letter.
All of our services are paid for by the revenues earned in our store. Goodwill is just a tool that the community is using to help their neighbors find a job. Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
Join us for Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life Channel. This former police sergeant is plugged into not only the world of the streets, he's an actor and connoisseur of the arts. So join Mike and his guest for, well, Street Talk and Other Stuff. Mondays at 10 a.m., Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m., and Wednesdays at 5:30. It's Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life Channel.
The all-new Yamaha Wolverine X4 offers 4 times the proven off-road capability, 4 times the comfort, and 4 times the confidence to deliver 4 times the excitement on your next outdoor adventure.